Good morning, everyone. You're welcome to today's class. I hope everybody is on right now. So you would say yes, you missed seeing my face, but I will try and make sure that this class is long to the end of our 30 minutes. I've already used 5 minutes out of it in writing on the board. So I'm left with 25 minutes left. Yes. So today we'll be taking asymmetrical flare skirt. For your asymmetrical flare skirt, it's the same thing as your high and low skirt. So if you have an idea of how high and low is that the front is coming up while the back as looks like the tail, but it's always a circular skirt, the flare skirt. Or you could tilt it to the side. The side on one side is longer, the other side is shorter. So depending on whatever desired preferred style you want. But I always prefer for the front to be on the upper level. Can you close it? For the front to be on the upper level and the back to be low down. Yes, that's how it's done. So the first step says you should draft your basic skirt pattern. This is my basic skirt pattern. I've drafted it. But if you notice something, you notice that yes, my back, I did not include my dart at the back. That's because for my asymmetrical flare skirt, I do not need a dart. So instead of me taking my waist measurement, you know, to get the waist measurement of the back is always quarter of the waist plus 1 inch for your dart. All I just do is quarter of the waist. So the same thing I did for the front, the same thing I did for the back. No dart, because I do not need the dart on the asymmetrical flare skirt. So I have this as my flare skirt. I have my CB and I have my CF. The second step says remove all the allowance. So this is the second place. Now I want you to note that yes, if you notice most of my sewing techniques I send, most of it, well, depending on the style, I don't make use of the allowance because it's always better for you to understand first before you add your allowance. At least you know that yes, you have to add allowance for sewing. So this is my skirt now without the allowance. So I remove my CF and my CB and I place them together. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to do my my waistline. Okay, so let me do this. Can you tell them to use their name? Thank you. Okay. So I've corrected that, yes. So I have my CBA and I have my CFA. So that's removing all the allowance. So you can say I do not have the zip allowance, neither do I have any side allowance. This is it. So the next thing is to get my desired flare shape. So I want you to understand that to get the high-low skirt, there are different shapes. So I can either have this shape or I can either have this shape. So it's all a matter of choice. Some people even prefer to have this shape. So it depends on how curvy, how you want the down part to be. But for me, I only approve this one and this one. This one always looks like, it's always nicer on a top, yes, on a top blouse that are now as the high low. But on a skirt, it's always looking awkward. Well, that's my preference. You choose whatever you want. Okay, so back to the class. I said get your desired flare shape. So everything just depends on whatever shape you want to get. So I said slash and spread. So you can see my CB and my CF. I've joined them together on the hip line and then I'm getting my desired shape. So for this class, I'll be doing the two different shapes that I like to show you how to do it. So I've gotten my desired shape. This is it. So the only thing is just for me to mark it on paper. And then the next thing is to slash and spread. So how do I slash and spread? You all know how to do your flare skirt, right? So I can slash my front into 3 parts depending on whatever I want. And slash my back to so you can see that's me slashing it. So all I just have to do is cut. Don't forget my CF is still on fold, and then I slash to this point. I slash this one to this point. Don't forget that this side, even though yes, I'm joining it together to get my shape, it's still different, CF and CB. So there's still a line here. So I leave that. I slash this up to this point. I slash this up to this point. So by the time I place this on paper, so I said blend, slash, and spread. So how do I spread it? I place it on paper. Can this side be seen? Okay. So I place it on paper. By the time I place it on either paper or fabric, your choice. If you want to place it on paper, I would advise you to place it on fabric though, just place it straight on your fabric so you do not waste your paper. But hey, if you want to be sure that yes, you're getting the right thing, place another paper. Then once you've gotten your desired shape, you can now place it on fabric. But if you are sort of an expert, so to speak, I'll tell you that you should place it directly on your fabric. So I take this, don't forget my waistline will be meeting. So by the time I'm placing it on paper, this side and this side, or placing it on fabric, whichever one you choose to use, this side and this side are meeting together. So this is my meeting point for it. So from this is my CF, this is my CB. Can you see? So I have my CF still on fold, and then now this is me trying to achieve 360 flare. Whatever desired flare you want. If you want the very round one, if you want 720, it's all a matter of choice. But just most important thing is make sure your CF is on the folded line, and then go ahead and spread it all to your desired choice. So this is me spreading it. This is my fabric, me spreading it. This is my C, where my CF and my CB is meeting. Just make sure that yes, while doing this, you might find a little bit difficulty trying to spread it. Just use your paper tape to hold your waist down. Your waist must not shift. Your waist must not cut out. It must still remain the same thing. Because if it shifts, it means you are adding more allowance to the waist, and you do not want your skirt waistline to be free or to be bigger than what you envisaged. So this is what you have by the time you spread it down. By the time you slash and spread, you can say I have 9 inches all the way. 9 inches, that's what I use for this. 9 inches all the way. Now the whole essence is what desired flare cut do I want? Don't forget I said number 5, blend in your flare shape. So the whole essence is what shape do I want? Do I want this shape? That's this shape, or do I want this shape? So it's all a matter of choice. So you can see if I know that I want my front to be higher, while my back to be lower, it's my choice. Or I want my front to be lower and my back to be higher. It's all a matter of choice. So from here, I picked how many inches? Let me confirm. So from the waistline on my CF, I picked 4.5 inches all the way down, and then I connected it back to my 9 inches. So how do I do it? Yes, a curve cannot help you, so you have to use your hand to form dotted lines. Your dotted lines takes you all the way. Now please note, I did not do the 4.5, 4.5, 4.5 till no. So I just did my 4.5 in the front and then use my dotted lines because I know this is where I'm going to. This is where I want to connect it to. So I use my dotted lines all the way. I can take it from up and go all the way down, depending on whatever shape. And that's it. You can see. So by the time I'm done with this, let me show you how it's going to look like. So by the time I'm done with this shape, this is how my skirt will look like. So I'm cutting it out. Can you see that? You can see that. So I have the front as the one that is low and the back as the high one, or whichever way it works. But I have the front as the shorter one and the back the longer one. So you can see this is the all round shape. But if I want this shape, can you see? I want to continue. Okay, so if I want this shape, how do I do it? I already have this shape on board. So the best bet for me, for you to get it easily, after you've done this on your skirt, but what you intend to do is slash and spread, right? So just slash, slash. Do the same thing for the back. But you can notice this one also does not carry any allowance, either zip or side allowance. So I'm not working with my allowance. When I'm done with this, that's when I add it on fabric or paper, whichever one you choose. So I already have this. The next thing I do is to cut this out. Can you see? Once I cut it out, this is what I have. Then slash and spread this. So once you're slashing and spreading, don't forget your waistline and your waistline meet, and then you put it on your fabric, and then you slash and spread. When you slash and spread, your each piece is going to have the shape scattered. So all you just do is use your pencil to blend in back the shape. But at least you already know that, okay, this is low, or this is shorter, this is longer, and then I have this curve in between. So it helps you to be able to even blend well instead of you trying to crack out or imagine how to blend it. Or Some people say their hands are not straight and they cannot get it. So by the time you've done this on your pattern, and then you're placing it on fabric, and then you're slashing and spreading, it makes the whole work much more easier. So after I'm done with this, I add my allowance. So I can come here after I've slashed and spread on fabric. I come here and I add my 1 inch allowance. Please, you can notice I said 1 inch, not 2 inches. So yes, those in USBs can still be doing 2 inches and all for their skirts and all. Yeah, in newbies, you are doing more advanced skirts. So I expect you to be able to sew with 1 inch. So that 1 inch is where you sew your zip, and then you fix your band, and that is it. So another thing, to spice up our skirt, we can decide to use ruffles. We can put ruffles here. Well, am I the one telling you? I've been seeing all the things you've been doing, and you've been doing a great job. So I don't have to help you spice up your skirt. I know you're good and you can do that all on your own. So I said blend in flare shape, which I've done. Cut out pattern and place on fabric. Yes, then you add your zip allowance. And that is all for the asymmetrical flare skirt. So it's either I have this shape or I have this shape. Either one is good. It's all a matter of your choice and your preference. Thank you very much.